Produced almost continuously in one form or another since 1969 and created by Joe Ruby and Ken Spears for Hanna-Barbera, Scooby Doo Where Are You? Was broadcast on CBS from September 13th, 1969 until 1976, when its option on the series ran out. In 1972, 1 hour-long episodes were aired under the title The New Scooby-Doo Movies. Each episode featured a real or fictitious guest star helping the gang solve mysteries such as the Harlem Globetrotters, Batman and Robin, and the Three Stooges. Some of my personal favorites included Don Knotts, Batman and Robin, and the Addams Family. In 1976, ABC made a deal with Hanna-Barbera to bring new episodes of Scooby-Doo to the ABC Saturday morning lineup, where the show went through almost yearly lineup changes. During the 76-77 broadcast season, the Scooby-Doo Dynamite Hour was broadcast. For the 77-78 season, the Scooby-Doo Dynamite Show became the 2-hour programming block Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics. Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics was retitled Scooby's All-Stars for the 78-79 season. In 1979, Scooby's nephew Scrappy-Doo was added to both the series and the billing, in an attempt to boost Scooby's slipping ratings, which to the majority of fans was the darkest time for Scooby, as many detested Scrappy, even though it was a huge success. Beginning in 1980, a half hour of reruns from previous incarnations of Scooby-Doo were broadcast on ABC Saturday mornings, in addition to first-run episodes, airing under the titles Scooby-Doo Classics, Scary Scooby Funnies, The Best of Scooby-Doo, and Scooby's Mystery Funhouse. The rerun package remained on the air until the end of the 1986 season. Scooby-Doo was restored to a standalone half hour in 1983 when the new Scooby and Scrappy-Doo show, which comprised 2 11-minute mysteries per episode. In 1985, the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo debuted, which featured Daphne, Shaggy, Scooby, Scrappy, and new characters Flim Flam and Vincent Van Ghoul, traveling the globe to capture 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the face of the earth. Hanna-Barbera reincarnated the original Scooby-Doo Where Are You cast as elementary school students for a new series titled A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, which debuted on ABC in 1988. It was at this time that Scooby's parents showed up and revealed his real name is Scoobert. The series also established Coolsville as the name of the gang's hometown. This setting was retained for several of the later Scooby productions. Following the first season of A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, Ruger and much of his unit defected from Hanna-Barbera to Warner Brothers to develop Steven Spielberg Presents Tiny Toon Adventures, and later Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, and Freakazoid. From 1987 to 1988, Hanna-Barbera Productions produced Hanna-Barbera Superstars 10, a series of syndicated TV movies featuring their most popular characters, including Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, the Flintstones, and the Jetsons. Scooby, Scrappy, and Shaggy starred in 3 of the movies, which included Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers from 1987, Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School from 1988, and Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf from 1988. These 3 films took their tone from the early 1980s Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo entries, and featured the characters encountering actual monsters and ghosts rather than masquerading people. Scooby-Doo and Shaggy later appeared as the narrators of the made-for-TV movie Arabian Nights, originally broadcast by TBS in 1994, which was Don Messick's final outing as the original voice of Scooby-Doo. With Scooby-Doo's restored popularity in reruns on Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers Animation and Hanna-Barbera began producing one new Scooby-Doo direct-to-video movie a year beginning in 1998. 2 theatrical films were then produced, the first in 2002 entitled Scooby-Doo the Movie, and the second being the 2004 movie Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Also in 2002, the Kids WB series What's New Scooby-Doo aired until 2006. The live-action TV movie, Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins, was released on DVD and simultaneously aired on Cartoon Network on September 13, 2009, the 40th anniversary of the series' debut. Produced by Warner Brothers Animation, the show follows the format of the original series, but places it in the 21st century. After 3 seasons, What's New Scooby-Doo was replaced in September 2006 with Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, a major revamping of the series, which debuted on the CW's Kids WB Saturday morning programming block. In the new premise, Shaggy inherits money and a mansion from an uncle, an inventor who has gone into hiding from villains trying to steal his secret invention. The villains, led by Dr. Phibes, then use different schemes to try to get the invention from Shaggy and Scooby, who handle the plots alone. Fred, Daphne, and Velma are normally absent, but do make appearances at times to help. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated premiered on Cartoon Network on April 5, 2010, which was a reboot of the franchise, re-establishing the characters' relationships, personalities, and locations and expanding their world to feature their parents, high school, and neighbors. The series, while still following the basic mystery-solving format of its predecessors, was broadcast as a 52-chapter animated television novel and included elements similar to live-action mystery adventure shows. An overarching mystery surrounding the gang's hometown of Crystal Cove, California, became the series' main story arc, with pieces of the mystery unfolding episodes by episode. Also featured were romantic entanglements and interpersonal conflict between the lead characters. The series ran for 52 episodes, over 2 seasons, with a 3-part finale airing across April 4th and April 5th, 2013, exactly 3 years from the debut. On March 10th, 2014, Cartoon Network announced several new series based on classic cartoons, including a new Scooby-Doo animated series titled Be Cool, Scooby-Doo. The show featured the gang living it up the summer after their senior year of high school. Along the way, they run into monsters and mayhem. The series premiered October 5th, 2015 on Cartoon Network and concluded on March 18th, 2018. On June 27, 2019, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who premiered on Boomerang's streaming service. The series featured the Mystery Incorporated gang teaming up with a variety of guest stars to solve mysteries. Confirmed guest stars include Halsey, Sia, Bill Nye, Mark Hamill, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Ricky Gervais, Kenan Thompson, and Chris Paul. Don Messick was the original voice of Scooby-Doo from 1969 until 1996. Hadley K performed the voice for the Johnny Bravo episodes Bravo Doobie-Doo and 'Twas the Night, as well as in commercials in 1997. Scott Innes was the voice of Scooby-Doo from 1998 until 2002. Neil Fanning voiced Scooby-Doo in the live-action Warner Brothers theatrical films produced in 2002 and 2004. Frank Welker is the current voice of Scooby-Doo, having taken over the role from Innes in 2002, although Innes voiced the character in video game projects, commercials, and some toys until 2008. In 2005, Dave Coulier voiced Scooby in the Robot Chicken parody, and then Seth Green voiced him in 2007, 2012, and 2018. Casey Kasem was the original voice of Shaggy from 1969 until 1997. Billy West voiced Shaggy in Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island and Scooby-Doo Behind the Scenes in 1998. Scott Innes voiced the character from 1999 until 2002, and he continued to voice Shaggy in video game projects, commercials, and some toys until 2009. Casey Kasem returned to voice the role in 2002 and continued as Shaggy until 2009. In 2006, Kasem continued to voice Shaggy only in the direct-to-video film series until 2009. Scott Menville performed the voice of Shaggy in the 2006-2008 CW series Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. Matthew Lillard appeared as Shaggy in the live-action 2002 and 2004 theatrical films and took over as the voice of the animated character in 2010. He also voiced Shaggy in 4 stop-motion parody sketches for the Adult Swim show Robot Chicken. Nick Pilatus appeared as Shaggy in the 2009 and 2010 live-action TV movies. Frank Welker has always performed the voice of the animated version of Fred since 1969, with the exception of the 1988-91 ABC series A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, where Carl Steven performed the voice of preteen Fred. Freddie Prinze Jr. appears as Fred in the live-action theatrical films and voiced the character in the Robot Chicken parodies. Robbie Amell played Fred in the live-action TV movies. Stefaniana Christopherson was the voice of Daphne in the first season of Scooby-Doo Where Are You? In 1969-70. Heather North assumed the role in Season 2 in 1970 and continued as Daphne through 1997, save for Kelly Martin's turn as preteen Daphne in A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Mary Kay Bergman performed the voice of Daphne from 1998 to 2000, when Grey DeLisle assumed the role. She continues to perform the role to this day. North reprised her voice role for 2 2003 direct-to-video films, Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire and Scooby-Doo and the Monster of Mexico. Sarah Michelle Gellar appears as Daphne in the live-action theatrical films and as Daphne's voice in the Robot Chicken parodies. Kate Melton played Daphne in the live-action TV movies. Nicole Jaff was the original voice of Velma from 1969 to 73. Pat Stevens assumed the role from 1976 to 1979, with Marla Frumpkin taking over mid-season on Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo in the later year. B.J. Ward voiced Velma from 1997 till 2002, with Mindy Cohn assuming the role in 2002. As with North, Jaffe reprised her voice role for Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire, and Scooby-Doo and the Monster of Mexico in 2003. Stephanie D'Abruzzo voiced Velma from the 2013 puppet film Scooby-Doo Adventures: The Mystery Map. In 2015, Kate Micucci took on the role for the series Be Cool, Scooby Doo and Lego Scooby Doo shorts and specials. In 2016, she took over the role from Con completely. Linda Cardellini appears as Velma in the live-action theatrical films and as the voice of Velma in the Robot Chicken parodies. Hayley Kiyoko played Velma in the live-action TV movies. Lenny Weinrib voiced Scrappy Doo during the first version of Scooby-Doo and Scrappy Doo in 1979 to 1980. Don Messick assumed the role in 1980 for the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy Doo segments of the Richie Rich Scooby-Doo show and continued as Scrappy through 1988. Scrappy has only appeared sporadically since 1988, with Scott Innes performing the voice in the 2002 live-action film, which portrays Scrappy as the main villain, as well as in the Cartoon Network bumpers, video games, and toys since 1999. Dan Milano voiced Scrappy in the 2007 Robot Chicken sketch. This video is going to be long enough, so I'll just end by saying that Scooby and the gang have appeared in a number of comics, children's books, toys, tabletop games, and video games over the years. If you'd like me to do a part 2 to the history and origins of Scooby-Doo, then leave a comment below, and I'll move it to the top of my list, as I've got a list of over 80 videos I plan to make in 2020.